Before we dive into all of the real estate deals, where was your mind at, man? Like, you talking about point 0.8 GPA, getting kicked out of school, making $10 an hour, working at a retirement home, so also seeing nothing but straight old folk, like that can even in itself be something mentally like. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living, and welcome to Analyze the Deal Live. Oh man, we've got a fire episode today. I've got my boy in the building, the real estate GOAT himself, Mr. Derek Boone. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling better now that you're here, man. I'm so excited for you to break down some stuff, or really analyze some of these deals for us, man. But tell the people a little bit more about yourself and like your background, what you do, your area of expertise.
Okay, so like you said, my name is Derek Boone. Born and raised out of Philadelphia. 28 years old. And a little bit about me is I got started in real estate. So I feel like everybody has those two different times. It's like, yo, I got into real estate this time, but I really got into real estate this time.
Yeah.
So I really what I consider when I really got into real estate was the end of 2016. I want to say like November. I went to a conference. I went to not I don't say conference, but a class.
Okay.
Everybody doing class like on Zoom and stuff now, but this was a class in person. And it was about how to buy your first, because I owned a property already. And this was about how to basically buy a duplex, a triplex, a multifamily property. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's probably like the next step, I guess. I went to that class and the guy was like, yo, you know a little bit. I said, well, I read and stuff like that. And he said, no, you got this. I don't know what it is, but something about you, I think this might be great for you. So I'm thinking he's talking about buying properties and becoming an investor. Whole time he's actually talking about selling property. He said, I think you should get into being more like doing transactions. Yeah, do the investor thing, but think about doing more transactions. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I was working at a retirement home. I was making $10 an hour at the retirement home. And because I went to college for a little bit. I graduated high school in 2011. I went to college. Failed. They kicked me out of college because my GPA was like a 0.8. Like I was not going to class. I was not doing the work. I was doing like the total opposite.
That man was turning up.
Yeah, I was cut. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. But so they kicked me out saying that like, yo, your grades is not. How they say it's super professional. Your grades is not fitting with our academic standards. So I'm like, all right. Yeah. So they made me leave, and then I went to community college. Did a little bit better there. But that didn't work out either. So worked at retirement home. Fast forward back to 2016. I went ahead and took my real estate. I went and took 2 real estate classes to get your real estate license. And I finally finished those. It's 2 classes, about a month and a half each. So remember, this is like November going to December. So I finally took them around let's say January. So I was done both my classes by May.
Okay.
No, by March. I'm sorry. I was done both my classes by March. I sold my first property as a real estate agent in April. So April, my first deal. By December, I sold 16 or 17 houses. So the guy was right because I did have something and it worked out. I knew how to put deals together. I knew how to make things happen. And it kind of just blew up from there. The next year did even more deals. That's 2018. Quit my job. And then the next year I had started hiring more people. I had some people in the team, hired another agent. So I wouldn't have to be outside as much.
Wow.
That's when this guy told me, he said, man, you selling a lot of houses, but you're not buying nothing. Ooh. And it was like, I just closed this deal. I made X amount of dollars, a couple $1,000, whatever the amount was. And he said, you're not buying nothing. So like, what you waste, like, he made it seem like that was a bad day I just had.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know what? Let me get back to my original purpose. I wanted to be an investor. So let me get right back to that. 2019, I went and bought a commercial mixed-use building with my partner. Key thing for everybody listening, your partner doesn't always have to be somebody out the sandbox. It can be somebody you just met. As long as you guys' mindset aligns, You have the same core values. You guys want to grow individually and together, and you're not just leeching off each other. That can be your next business partner. I met him off Instagram.
Wow.
We bought this commercial mixed use building together, and then after that, I just started buying houses, and we just kept it going. In 2022, I actually just closed on a property about a week and a half ago, and I'm closing on 3 more properties this month. So we just kind of keep it going. We just kind of keep it going. And that's my pretty much investing journey. And then one last thing, about 2019, I did a deal and I made $5,000 as a real estate agent. 2018. It's 2019. One of them years, right?
Yeah.
Met my which was my business partner at the time. He did a wholesale deal, basically middleman in property, right? You find a property for $40,000, you assign it to somebody and they pay $50,000, you make the $10,000 in between. And I was like, he just made $15,000, made $5,000, same time frame, same amount of time, same transaction, same everything. I said, how the heck you just made $15,000, I made $5,000.
Yeah.
So he broke a wholesaling to me, and at that point, it just made sense. Obviously, I had a license, I had a team, so I didn't kill that, but I put more efforts into the wholesaling because I can make more money. Like we have transactions, we made $60,000 on one transaction and it had closed in 30 days. So I said, this makes more sense. And then not to mention, and this is for people that are investors that's listening, I would find off-market deals and sell them to an investor. And when they finish fixing up the deal, they will call me back and say, can you list my property? So I would get paid twice off the same house. So at that point, like the license still made sense. I was doing this all the time. My license still made sense. But now currently today, I don't use my license at all. It's strictly wholesale or I'm buying a property. But that's kind of like years.
That's fire. Because you hear a lot of people talk about wholesaling, but they talk about, that arbitrage opportunity in between. But you talking about you had the ability to make that money in between the lines, but then also relist it on top of that to make that commission, that agent's sale on top of that. No, that's fire. But before we dive into all of the real estate deals, I mean, you already told us you're expert, like you are killing the game, man. So that's amazing to hear where you come from, bro. Very inspirational. And I'm writing notes as I'm taking notes as we're talking, bro. And if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, I need you to get your pen and note paper out right now, because on Analyze the Deal, I'm going to make sure Derek breaks down a few deals for you guys so you guys understand all the steps, all the blueprints for what you need to do. But before we even get into all that, tell me, like, where was your mind at, man? Like, were you talking about 0.8 GPA, getting kicked out of school, making $10 an hour, working at a retirement home, so also seeing nothing but straight old folk? Like, that can even itself be something mentally. Like, tell me the deal that you made with yourself. Like, what was the thing that clicked for you where you said, you're like, it has to work, like what was it for you that was like, all right, I'm in this position here and I'm not going to stay there? Why? Like, what was that conviction? What was the thing that pushed you over to take your future into your own hands?
So I want to say is 3 things. One, the first and foremost, I want everybody to understand that inspiration, mentor, and your environment, it can be a positive out of any of those situations, no matter where you at. A lot of people feel like, I don't know Jeff Bezos, so I can't have a mentor, so I'm just chalk. If you're making $1,000 a week or $1,000 every 2 weeks, and you know somebody that's making $5,000 every 2 weeks, that could potentially, that's somebody that's doing better than you financially. Everybody's different personal life. That's somebody doing better than you financially that can teach you something. And I think that's one of our problems. We look at, if I don't know nobody making tens of millions of dollars, then I can't learn from anybody. At this point, you wouldn't even know what to do with tens of millions of dollars. So let's start out with steps. Okay, let's find somebody that's making, $10,000 a month. That can be a mentor to get you that point. And then you move up to how to do $100,000 a month. Then you move, you just go from scale to scale to scale. So that's one. And I say that because at the retirement home, some of the kids of those parents would come in and visit, and I would just network and I just would talk with them. Some of them were lawyers, some of them were doctors. So the little thing about that retirement home, you had to have, it wasn't like a regular retirement. You had to have some money to live there.
Okay, nice.
Some of those elderly people, some of them were just like irregular. They just saved their money. Some of them really were wealthy. So the kids would come in, and sometimes, you're taking good care of somebody's mom, they're going to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, and they would just give a little. None of them gave you like a full blown opportunity. One guy gave me an opportunity, as far as a real estate deal. He said, "Hey, we got this old house," and I fumbled that. That was my first. This is before I even knew anything. My
Yeah.
first. That I'm an inspiring real estate person, and he just gave me a shot. So if I can go back in time, man, I would have, man. But it was a good deal, but I blew it because I was just
You didn't know.
yeah, exactly. So, but more of the story is I networked with all those people and they gave me little bits and pieces of things. So I tried to take whatever inspiration, whatever mentor I could at that time, because in my family, I didn't have like, in my family, I'm that guy. So it's not like I can call on people to put me on game.
Yeah.
They all me. So I had to find, hey, I was making $700 every 2 weeks. Yo, you making 2,000? Like, what do you know? Because I need to learn it. Like, I found a mentor in every different aspect and every different piece. That's the first and foremost. And then the second thing I would say is you just gotta understand that it's more out there. You gotta believe in yourself and really have that faith. Like, I can do more. And with that, in that moment, it slapped me like brick. I remember I worked at the retirement home. I worked 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then they had a second shift, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. In the wintertime when it snowed, you can work overnight shoveling the snow and you would get paid $25 an hour. Nothing else to talk about. Bet.
Yeah, that's
So I was working 3 shifts and I was spending the night at the job, and I did that for 2 weeks straight. Well, every day, obviously not every day because it didn't snow that whole 2 weeks, but
right.
one full week it snowed and the next week it didn't snow. So, and this hit me, man. Like, when I got paid in 2 weeks, my check was $1,500. And I remember my manager was like, "Wow, you got the same check as me." And it was just like one of these moments where I lived at this job for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You come in at 8 and leave at 3 or 4 o'clock, and we have the same check. I said, first off, $1,500 is not even a lot of money to dedicate 2 weeks for anybody.
Right.
Let alone living there. And then you told me it's the same. At that moment, I said, I got to do something. So for a lot of times, I want people to understand, don't look at situations as bad, look at them as a positive. Because that situation, I turned into a positive, like, I'm worth more. And then that's when I said, you know what? I literally went to, looked into that class I was telling you at the end of because it was like November when that whole thing happened. I went to that class in like December with my mentor at that time. And I just turned it up from there. So honestly, just finding inspiration or finding a mentor at wherever level you at right now. And second, just having that moment with yourself, like $700 every 2 weeks, $1,000 every 2 weeks. For some people, $5,000 is not enough. Like, you can do more. You just got to believe that you can do more.
Yeah, no, that's important, man, to have that mindset to say, like, you can do more. And I think one thing I pulled from what you just said is, like, you started where you were, right? Mm-hmm. There were people right around you who had more than you, right? So you talked to them, you asked them questions, you networked. It didn't matter, like, that you were the nurse and they were the parents or the children. It didn't matter, but you started where you were. But another thing I just noticed is, like, for anybody to stay on the job for like 2 weeks, to basically work 3 shifts in a row, to spend overnight, you were a hard worker to begin with. Was that something that you always prided yourself, like took pride in, like in your work ethic? Because I'm sure that translates now to your real estate business. And you said you were able to build your team and stuff like that. Like, you started working hard before you got to the money, right? Like, a lot of people, I feel like they feel like once they get the opportunity, then they gonna turn up. But you were turning up and like putting in the hours and the effort and the work before you even got there, man. Like, I think that's very important that for people to notice. But why real estate? So, like, you were in a position where, I mean, really, when you have no direction, you can take any direction, right? You can go on stock market. That's my area. I love the stock market. I respect real estate as well. Like, they're both wealth generators, so we need all of them, right? But why that over real estate or starting your own business? Or like, why specifically was the real estate route the thing that got you?
Right. So for sure. And also, I think that a lot of people are more entrepreneurial than they realize.
That's
if I can go back in time, I would have never worked a job. Honestly, when I was a kid, I used to, they say this, but I really lived it. Like I really used to shovel snow. I used to go to different areas, cut grass. I used to rake leaves. I used to sell the candy. Like I literally used to do this consistently from like I was like 10 years old all the way up until like 17. Then I went and got a job. Like this was a consistent. It was so funny. I had houses that had me on contract. I didn't know what I was doing at this time, but think about it. I had a whole landscaping company where like, yo, I was just they didn't have to ask me. I had to make sure those houses were good.
Yeah.
More entrepreneurial than I realized, but for me, I'm like, I want a paycheck. Like that sounds hot. Hindsight 2020, I was making more money cash than the paycheck. That's a whole nother conversation. But
Yeah.
that's when so one, I want people to understand, like you are, just look back at your life. Like you do a lot of entrepreneurial stuff now. You just gotta remind yourself and pull it out.
Mm.
Now to the real estate piece, I always was interested in houses. Like I always watch HGTV. I always like looking at beautiful homes. Even on Instagram, I would look at kitchens of Insta, man caves. I just like that stuff. It always was attractive to me. And for me also, remember I was telling you about my environment wasn't like I didn't have a crazy environment. I don't want to say and say like I had the worst environment ever, but I didn't have anybody that was doing stock market. I didn't have anybody that was doing Forex. I didn't have anybody that was doing, some of these major running any business. None of my family runs business. They all just work.
Yeah.
So I think my was probably the only one. She had a hair salon when I was a kid. Like that's about it. But nobody really runs businesses. So with that being said, if you don't have those type of stocks around you to spark that in your ear,
Yeah.
then I see is houses. I live in one, that was in front of me. So I said, that's like the next best thing. And also, at this time, I think right now, because of so many people are teaching programs, teaching classes, stocks, Forex, all these different things are more open now. But in 2017, 2016, nobody was having stock classes.
Right.
People were having home buying seminars, but not a lot of people was having stocks classes like they are having now, which is great. So remember, I don't have any corporate background. I don't have a college degree. I had to get into something that was non-biased. Like I could start the day. So that's when I started real estate.
No, that makes sense, bro. So you literally from your entire story so far, it's literally like you just found out where you were right then and there, and just like, this is right in front of me. Let me take that. This is what's right in front of me. Let me go get after it. And that makes a lot of sense, bro. So now you translate that mindset, you translate that work ethic over into your studies as you are learning the real estate game, and you become a licensed real estate agent, and you're going out getting these properties and you're selling them. So you're the one that's vetting, I guess, the customers, the clients, and you're selling them. So talk to me about how you like that route for you, but then what made you transition now into just the different avenues that you're into now? Because you've mentioned commercial, you mentioned residential, you've mentioned wholesaling. So just for somebody who's getting started in real estate, because you've literally touched both sides, the selling and investing side. Like, what do you suggest to somebody who's getting started in real estate or trying to get their feet wet in real estate, just like you? They don't have a lot of direction. They don't have anybody in their family who's ever done this before. Like, they don't know where to go. And I'll give you the first answer. You said you went to a conference and you heard somebody speak. I think that's the first thing I tell people all the time: to get in the room. You and I have the same coach. We know each other because we got in the same room with each other. And I think that's valuable in and of itself, in finding a mentor and somebody to help you. So, if you were mentoring the people listening right now, what would you tell them back, Derek Boone, at 18 years old, when you were first trying to get started and figure it out?
Like you just said, get in the room and find a mentor, find where you at. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm not sitting there saying go ahead and DM Jeff Bezos and try to find the richest mentor in the world. Find somebody that's doing better than you, that's doing something that you're interested in, and DM them fast. Like when I tell you, I have no type of scare or fear in my life at all. I look at it like this: if it doesn't kill you, what you scared for? So what I would do is I would literally, anybody that was in real estate that was doing something, I would DM, hey, I like what you're doing. You want to do lunch? Hey, I like what you're doing. Can I mentor? And hey, I like what you're doing. I would send those messages every single day. And of course, a lot of people will curve you. And there are some people that actually tapped into me and they gave me just a piece. And I feel like life is like a box. I just poured all them pieces in, shook it up. And then what came out of it is me. Because I was just DMing people nonstop. Like I said, my business partner came off of DMs.
Wow.
We own over $1 million worth of real estate together and it came from a DM.
Wow.
And he wasn't even at the point where he was at then, nowhere near where he's at now. He just had a couple more properties than I did. I think he might have had 4 houses and I had 1.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like crazy big at that point, but he had a little bit more than me. I DM'd him. He responded back. We put it together. So I would just say, DM people, tap into a program, buy a course, do something, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So if you guys are doing the same thing you did last year, nothing came out of it, what you think gonna happen this year? So
the same.
Exactly. So reach out to people, try to find mentors, and don't be scared to pay. Don't look at it as a paying, look at it as you investing. So if somebody's selling a course that can give you information that costs $1,000, don't look at it, I just paid somebody $1,000. I just invested in myself $1,000. And also don't look at the entire situation as let's say the course is 5 hours long. Like I need 5 hours worth of information. Like, no, I just need that one piece that he's going to say that's going to turn everything right now for me, like blow everything out of the water. So let's say I want to get into 100-unit apartment buildings. If I learn one piece from somebody that shows me how to get 100, nothing else matters. They just showed me how to find 100-unit deals. That's all that matters. Nothing else they said. Just focus on getting that one piece. So that's what I would honestly say for people just getting started is find just somebody just above you and then just build it up. Just build it up. Just build it up and shoot your shot. Don't be scared to, pay for information. And don't be scared to reach out to people and look like the newbie, because the newbie eventually, those people that would not DM me back, they're begging to get on the line now. They're like, hey, I want to do a podcast with you. Yeah. Hey, can I do this? Hey, can I? Like some of my mentors that was my mentor at the time, I'm doing way more deals than them. It's just how it goes. The
right.
Underdog doesn't stay underdog forever.
On God. Yeah. No, that's big time, man. And like you said, you stayed down, you focused on what you need to focus on, you analyzed what you had to for your position that you were in. And now, like you said, the same people who are hating on you or doubting you or didn't even want to give you the time of day are the ones that are now going to hit you up, and got to respect the things that you've accomplished, man. So I respect that, bro. So I'm going to try to get the people some free game here, because I know you said you got to invest in the knowledge. And that's one thing I love that you have. You have a ton of resources for people to be able to get this information and be able to get this game, right? You have courses, you have ebooks, you have all of that and mentorships to be able to help people really figure this out, so they don't have to piece everything together like you had to, or just try to be able to take. You spend so much time, bro, just trying to YouTube stuff. I try to tell that to people. You spend so much time trying to podcast it. And that was me, man. Like I was YouTube podcast and everything. And like for anybody who's listening, you can figure out what to do, but the sequences might be off, or like the steps might not be in the order that you need to. You know what I'm saying? So I know you have something called like your 6-step real estate action plan. You don't have to go into it full detail, but because obviously you got that in the book. So we'll get into that towards the end. But if you give the people like what are the first action steps when it comes down to getting your first property, or what do you suggest what is your game plan to the people that you mentor and you coach and you help as they're starting to learn how to get into this real estate market?
The biggest thing is understand how to find a deal.
Okay.
And remember, more so, how to find a good deal. A deal is just somebody wants to sell a property. A good deal is somebody wants to sell a property for a great price. So the biggest thing, and people don't understand how much power they have once they found a good deal. So for example, if you don't have any money, let's say you don't have nothing to your name, right? You don't have no money, no credit, but you found a great deal. You have so much more value than a person that has money, that has credit, because the person with money or credit can't do nothing with it if they have nothing to buy. So you can literally leverage your position. Hey, Bob, look, listen, I got this great deal I just found. It's really supposed to be sold for $100,000, but I got the owner at $50,000. Look, we need $50,000 to buy this. We're going to put $20,000 into it. It's just a lipstick. and we're going to sell it for $150,000. Look, I put the deal together. I orchestrate everything, titles back. Everything is good to go. We just short the 50 grand. Look, do you mind partnering with me and you put up the 50,000? I'll finish playing running point on everything. And then when we sell the property for 150, we'll split the profits right in the middle. For a logical person will say, shoot, you doing all the work. I just got to put up the money. But yeah, you giving me a return like that. It makes sense. But a lot of people that are just getting started, they don't understand that they have power. Even if they don't have money, if you learn how to find a good deal, there are people that are begging for opportunities to lend money because they don't have the time to do what you're willing to do. You're willing to go out in the streets. You're willing to get on computers. You're willing to call people on the phone and find deeply discounted properties. There's millions of people that don't feel like doing that or don't have the time to do it. They just want to cut the check. That's what lenders are called. That's what private lenders are called. That's what equity. Like these are people that their sole position is, I just want to cut the check because I don't have time.
Yeah.
So if you understand your first step is finding a deal, you have options. Okay, I found a great deal. If I have money, I can go buy it. If I don't have money, but I have credit, I can go ahead and leverage my credit and buy it. If I don't have money or credit, I can go ahead and partner with somebody and they put up the money or credit. If I don't have any partners, maybe I can wholesale it and just put an extra $10,000 fee and just sell the contract. But it all starts with you finding a good deal. Because if you know how to wholesale, but you don't have any deals, then that doesn't matter. If you have a partner that's willing to put up money, but you have no deals, then that doesn't matter. If you have all this money and $1 million in credit, but you have no deals, then that doesn't matter. So the core is step one is find great deals. And then you can sit there. I'm going to be honest with you. I wholesale properties myself. I sell properties. I buy properties. I do a whole bunch because, I'll show you something. Because all we literally do, this is my team. We got like a full-fledged system. This is our Slack group. All we do is send deals.
Wow. Yeah.
These are just addresses. This is today.
Wow.
Addresses.
See the timestamp, 7:00 this morning.
Addresses. So now when I sit there and we get the contract, it's like, do I want to keep this or do I want to sell it? Do I want to partner with somebody? But step one is the deal. So that's what I was saying. Somebody just getting started. Figure out how to find deals. And then now you can sit back, especially you got a contract 30, 60 days out. You got them the time to figure out what you want to go ahead and do.
And like someone in your position, you're now getting so many different deals that are coming your way. You now have the ability to basically put them up against each other and compare and say like, nah, this doesn't work for us or this one does work for us. So now you have options. No, that's right. What is your current, with your expertise, like what is your current take on the current market environment when it comes down to the housing market? You just said you're closing a few more deals. Obviously, you have a lot more experience and a lot more capital use than some other people. But like, would you say there are still great deals in the market right now? And how can somebody find these great deals? Like, what goes into a great deal?
Okay, so a couple of things. So it depends on what kind of investor you are. So there always are good deals, but pricing for material is high right now. So I will say that you can control if you want to finding good deals, but you can't control the market as far as pricing, as far as material. Like lumber's pricing is ridiculous. Right? Like I literally had a $10,000 order and literally I didn't pay for that order. I messed up. I didn't pay for that order that week. And I paid for it the next week. It went to $19,000. Wow. Same order went up $9,000 within like 4 or 5 days. So what I want you guys to understand is you can always find good deals. You can control that once you understand the system, like the 6 steps and things like that. But the other things like construction and stuff you can't control. But you can always find good deals. So what I want people to understand is you have to have a skill of learning where to find them at. And learning how to run numbers and learn how to negotiate. So, for example, I'm going to give you guys this website. It's called endlessprops.com, ENDLES props, PROPS.com. And you have 7 days for free to find any property you want in the whole country. Oh, wow. So now you can go ahead and put together a full list of properties, right, that you can find. So let's say I want to find properties in let's say one of the zip codes I invest in heavily, I own a lot of properties in the zip code is 19132. It's North Philly. And now I go ahead and find a whole list of properties in that zip code, right? And then I can go ahead and filter my search out. Say I want to find only duplex properties in that zip code that the homeowners own that property for 8 years. And it's an individual owns a property, not like a company. So we're narrowing down our search. So now instead of thousands of properties, now I have only a list of 500. So now I can take that 500. Now I have my list. I can go ahead and do something called skip tracing. So basically I send that list in to get the phone numbers back. And you can pay from 10 cents all the way up to 19 cents per search. And now, so let's say, for example, you got 100 properties, you'll pay, let's say, 15 cents per 100. And then they'll give you back all the phone numbers for those houses. So now you can literally either text that entire list, you can cold call that entire list and just say, and remember, you want to start out with energy and don't say, hey, is such and such home? Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Rob? How you doing today? Oh, I'm good. Who is this? Oh, my name is Derek. Sorry to bother you, but I actually am a real estate investor. And I seen your property 123 Main Street when I was driving past because I actually own a property around the corner from there. And I was calling to see if maybe you have some interest in selling. They either say yes, or they say no, or they say, what is your offer? But now you can go ahead and take that conversation from there. And then once you have situated those first couple steps, then you can go ahead, which is in step 3, I just said, the third part is negotiate. Learn how to just negotiate. Learn how to negotiate because you only owe what you negotiate. So a bad deal can go to a good deal in a matter of a minute.
Yeah.
Matter of 30 seconds. I have deals where homeowners want $100,000 and we negotiate them down to $60,000. I have homeowners that want $300,000 for properties. We get them down to $225,000.
Wow.
Actually, if one deal to close on right now, he wanted $300,000. We got him down to $225,000. It went from a bad deal to a good deal in a matter of minutes.
Because you
they negotiate. So back to answer your question, there are always good deals. Are you always negotiating? That's the thing.
No, that's fire.
There.
That's fire. I remember I spent a lot of time like studying the sales psychology and sales mentality because I'm a salesman at the end of the day. Like despite all the things that we sell, like I could teach you stocks, I could do all this different stuff, for my 5Fs, but we're still salesmen at the end of the day. Like that's why we post content. That's what we're doing. And a common quote that I always keep in the forefront of my mind is life doesn't give you like what you deserve. It gives you what you negotiate. And it's like you gotta, if you're not willing to negotiate it, and like if you take that first price, then you might end up getting a bad deal. You might not get what you want. But if you're willing to negotiate, and we negotiate everything in life all the time, we negotiate stuff and we don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? And because we do, I scratch your back, I scratch your mind. That's just negotiation right there. Like you have negotiations with maybe your children or your wife or your girlfriend. Like we do negotiations all the time. Like you cook this time and I'll do the dishes. You do this. Like these are all negotiations. So I think it's a skill that if people really analyze and really take a step back, especially experienced real estate investors like yourself and agents, like really focus on the negotiation side, you can save yourself. Like you said, you can turn anything that's like a bad deal. If you just get them on the phone as well, you can trust your process to be able to close them.
Exactly.
No,
like we said, everybody has an entrepreneur in them. Believe it or not, they just got to figure out how to pull it out. Everybody has the negotiating in them. They just got to figure out how to pull it out. A lot of things, and I want people on here to understand, like, just believe in yourself that you can do it. Once you have that belief, it's like a light switch. A lot of people are wondering, like, how after I just had that belief factor, all these opportunities just fall in my lap. They were already meant to be there. You just didn't believe in yourself to go ahead and take on them. So just having that belief factor and turning the switch on, it's like looking for something in the dark. You can't find it. You hit that switch. Now, it's right here, it's right here, it's right here. So that switches your belief factor. Hit that belief on. Now, all those opportunities that have been in front of your face this whole time, you can finally see them, and then you can finally act on them. Once you act on them, then you're gonna realize all these blessings are starting to come in, all because that one move you did. Like, yo, I really can start my own podcast. I really can buy my first property. I really can get into stocks. I can go ahead and do this. I really can go ahead and work out. It all starts with just belief. That's the first foremost of everything.
No, that is everything, man. Believing in that you believe that it's possible. that you
Yep.
believe that you can do these things, and that, like you said, if there's somebody who's even just a little bit above you, they've done it, and there's going to be somebody above them. There's levels to this stuff. That's why I always tell people, like, there's levels to this game. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you just keep, if the goal is always elevation and believing that you can get to that next level and getting around the people who are at a higher level than you. So this way you always are feeling like that sense, not where you're at the bottom of the totem pole, but where you can feel like, all right, I got to get it. Because I'm sure you're in rooms and circles now where you might have several million in real estate, but there are people out there, they're not taking a deal if it's not in the seven figures. They're not taking.
Like, yeah, like, geez. But yo, I want to piggyback off what you said. Steps, and I want for people that are doing, stocks, are doing real estate, are doing something, understand that even though you want to get to level 10,
Right.
your level 3 or 4 is higher than somebody's level 0. I learned is, one of my friends, I didn't really want to get too deep into like teaching real estate and stuff like that because I was like, yo, I know guys that have 100-unit apartment buildings. I don't have that, so I can't teach anything.
Mm-hmm.
My friend was like, yo, but you have houses, not just houses, you have houses. Like, you're doing deals. Like, you are so valuable to somebody that has nothing. And I was just like, dang, you got a point. So that's when I really started getting into teaching, getting into helping people. And when you see people say, I just closed the deal, make 10,000. I just closed the deal, make 20,000. I just bought my first property. I just flipped another property. I got 2 tenants now. It kind of like changes everything for you. So I'm saying this for other people that's watching that may already be somewhere at some point, a level 2, a level 3, a level 4 right now, even though you may not be at, let's say, you and I level, right? Which you will get there and go past us, I hope. But you are at some level that can teach somebody else. I'm not telling you to go ahead and be this full-blown crazy coach, but understand you couldn't help people. Like, we all may not be where we want to be at yet, but you are somewhere higher than somebody else that you can pull them up.
No, that's big time, bro. That's big time. So now you mentioned the coaching, you mentioned some of the things that you're doing in that space now. Tell me a little bit more about that. And as you just showed me your phone, so you're still actively
Oh,
buying
yeah.
deals, growing your real estate empire. And then on this, as you do that, you're also coaching students and helping them how they can get started. Is it specifically in single family homes, wholesaling? Like, tell me a little bit more about what you coach and what you help people do.
Got you. So we're like a one-stop real estate shop, I like to say. So what I do is with more of my one-on-one, my mentees, we kind of hone in specifically. We always do one intro call. And that intro call is, what exactly are you trying to accomplish? Your short-term goal and your long-term goal. Short-term goal is, what is your first 30 days? Like, what can you get done in this next 30 days is what you want to catapult you to get done your yearly goal. And then what is your yearly goal? Like, do you want to buy 1 property, 2 property, 3 properties? You want to close 10 deals? Like, what exactly is your yearly goal? And then your short-term goal may be like, hey, I want to get $50,000 in credit. Okay, that's super obtainable in 30 days. So we lock in with that. But once I identify what exactly you're trying to do, I know exactly what I need to help with. And then we move on to, our weeks and weeks and weeks of coaching. This is for our direct private mentees. And then as far as our courses and stuff, which is kind of like, we put together a full-blown video course, how to buy properties, how to wholesale properties, and how to get credit. So those are individual products in their own that people are YouTubers that don't mind learning on their own. We're taking something way more advanced than YouTube, but packaging it up in hours and hours and hours of clips that you can watch at your own time, and then you can go ahead and take it from there, and then go ahead and do what you need to do.
Oh no, that's big time. So you can literally learn everything that you need to know about real estate from you without having to go anywhere else. You don't got to go to YouTube anymore. You don't have to go to any more podcasts. You can literally join one of your programs and start from ground floor zero. Even somebody who has like a 500 credit score, even if their credit score is not in a position to be able to, like, you have the steps, you have the process to be able to help people go from A to Z and get to the position that you're in now, which is owning several $1 million portfolio worth of real estate.
Yep. If you guys send me a DM, say, hey, I'm looking to get started in real estate, we literally don't just send you, like, I won't just send you like, here, click the link and find something.
Right.
What exactly are you trying to do? It's not, and people are crazy when they see me respond back asking that questions like, well, this guy's actually trying to have a conversation with me. Like,
Yeah.
what exactly accomplish? Well, I'm trying to accomplish real estate. Well, what exactly? Matter of fact, let me help you out. What is your credit score? Do you have cash on hand if you don't mind me asking? Well, my credit score is a 600 and I don't have any cash on hand. Okay. Well, maybe wholesaling may be a good spot for you. This is what wholesaling, this is what breaks it down. If you are interested, I have this program that can specifically help with that. But we're figuring out what exactly do you need help with, and not just sending you a whole bunch of links because I want to make sure that you succeed, not just hey, bossa, bossa, because we just showed you, we're active regardless. So we're going to do things. What we're going to do, we're going to do regardless. The whole reason we get into teaching because we want to help you do specifically what you want to do and get to the next level, not just send you a bunch of links and you figure it out.
Man, no, I appreciate that, Derek, because a lot of, especially now in this coaching space and the mentoring space, like a lot of people out here who are just trying to sell what they want to sell and just say like, oh, this is my way. If you're trying to, like, this way or the highway, but you're like, and my first step of my process is the same thing. It's like my first two steps is where do you want to go? And the second one is how are you going to get there? If you cannot answer those first two questions, and our goal is to help you out with the how, like if you don't know in your mind first what you've even visualized as your life is possible, because the thing is like you and I, we can have completely different game plans for our life, and it's solely because of what we visualize. Like for me, I want to be a billionaire. So because of that, the actions that I take right now are completely different than somebody who has the goal of making 6 figures a year. Like my sister makes 6 figures a year, doing very, very well for herself, super independent, making good money. But the thing is, she doesn't have the goals that I have from a monetary standpoint. So because of that, she does different things with her money, and that is fine. But it's because where she wants to go and how she's going to get there, that's aligns with what she's trying to do. So I really appreciate you saying that, because I think it's just it's a breath of fresh air to hear, because I think a lot of people just feel like a lot of coaches now on Instagram and TikTok, whatever the case may be, are just trying to scam and just trying to get over on people and just pitch their way of doing something. And I like the fact that you have the seller side. So even if somebody doesn't have the money, you can tell them like go, and they're interested in real estate, you tell them like, yo, do wholesaling or go and get your real estate license so you can get out in the field and broker some of these deals. Or there's just so many different levels that you can get into, but it's going to be solely based on what you see for yourself first and what you believe is possible for yourself.
Exactly. That's a super fact. And I'm glad you touched on that, because like you said, a lot of people are just selling whatever it is. I've actually had situations where people tell me where they're at, and I would say, hey, my program may not be the best for you, but this is somebody that I know. I know exactly what they're doing. I met them in real life. I know them for years. I've seen their portfolio. That may be something you want to get into. Like if somebody said you want to buy 100-unit apartment buildings, my stuff is not going to show you that, but this guy can show you that. Maybe you should tap in with him, if he has something or not, but shoot him a DM, tell him my name, and it's not just trying to sell stuff, it's actually trying to help people.
Yeah, no, that's big time. So like my boy Derek said, if you're trying to connect with him, if you're trying to figure out what are the next steps to get, like you're interested in real estate, but you just don't know all the places for you to go, or if you've already gotten started in real estate and you're trying to elevate to that next level and you're really trying to grow your portfolio, tap in with my boy Derek Boone. His Instagram right there is tagged on the picture, but it's also DS Boone for my people listening. DSBOONE. Like I said, he's on real estate every single day. He's on Instagram, and I love your videos, bro. You got your podcast, The Closing Table. Is that what it's called? Right? Yeah. So some of the material that you have out there is, like I said, it's life changing. It's tangible things that people can use. So I got like 2 more questions, bro, before we get you out of here. And it's a question I always want to ask somebody in real estate. So I feel like you're the most qualified to answer this. Talk to me about the mindset when it comes down to rejection, because I feel like as a real estate guy, for how many people do you talk to before you actually close the deal, right? Like how many people tell you no, or like it doesn't get all the way through to the closing, that signing that dotted line before like it closes? Like what goes into that psychology? I don't know. Tell me a little bit more about that, bro.
So the more no's you get, that means the closer you're getting to yes.
Ooh.
Play that mind game with yourself. The more no's you're getting, the closer you're getting to yes. And I want you to understand is we have cold callers, right? they may call 100 to 200, 300 people a day.
Wow.
We might get 3, 4, 5, 6 leads per cold caller a day. But understanding, we're calling hundreds of people, let's say 100, 200. We don't really go over 300 per cold caller, just facts and numbers, one person calling.
Right.
But out of people may not answering, people saying no, disconnecting. Like we may only get a handful of leads from that cold caller per day. So I want you guys to understand that this is a numbers game. You're not going to call 100 people and get 100 good deals or close 100 deals. It's a numbers game. So the more you put in, the more you get out. It's like a funnel. The more you put in the funnel, the more opportunity can come out at the bottom of the funnel. But you have to go ahead and put it in. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to call 10 people and close 10 deals. It is not going to happen.
Yeah.
100% is not going to happen. But what can happen is, let's put it like this. If you spend a full day calling people, right? You called 100, 200 people, right? You spend a full day doing it. And you only got 4 leads. And you're like, dang, I only got 4 leads. Man, this sucks. All X, Y, and Z. One of those leads closed for $10,000. You got paid $10,000 for doing a day's worth of work. So look at the outcome of it. Look at the outcome of it. Yeah, I spent a whole day and I only got a handful of leads. But if one of them leads turned into a $10,000 transaction, a $20,000 transaction, a $50,000 transaction, then it's like, okay, I'll get paid. I would do 8 hours worth of 50,000. I'll do 8 hours worth of work for $10,000. So that's how you sometimes you gotta play mind games with yourself. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're gonna just be in a depressed state, like, oh my god, this is not working. But when you play mind games with yourself, I got 10 no's. That means the next one about to be a yes.
Yeah, no, I like that. And when you're in that position, just keeping your energy high, keeping your morale high, keeping your spirits, like you said, looking towards that next play where you're like, you know what? Every no is going to be the one that's going to just lead to that one yes. And that one yes can be the deal that changes your life. And especially in real estate. Because, I mean, one yes is a $10,000 bagger, maybe a $100,000 bagger. Like that one yes could be the thing. So, no, that's big time, bro. I appreciate that, bro. Man, Derek, you've given us so much game already. I mean, if you're not tapping into my brother, please do so. My last thing I want to ask you, bro, is, on Dictate with Noble Living, and I have my 5 F's of fate to help people dictate their fate. And that's finance, fitness, faith, fashion, and fun. So I want you now to put those 5 in order in your life and a matter of importance to you when it comes down for you and how you were able to dictate your fate from going from the nursing home or the elderly home, from a person with 0.8 GPA, dropped out of college to a multimillionaire. Like, tell me those 5 F's in order for you of importance. Finance, fitness, faith, fashion, and fun.
Okay, so I like that. It's getting spicy. I like that. So, and this might be going backwards. For some people, it might throw them off. I honestly believe fitness comes first.
Okay.
Because if you're not, and it obviously a technical person can break this down a little deeper, obviously. But just general, just broad. This is because if you're not healthy, the money means nothing. If you're not healthy at all, the money means. And the reason why I say that because I have, it's crazy, but I have I won't say majority, but I have like half, if not more than half of my family members that have diabetes.
Wow.
High blood pressure. Yeah, like I have a lot of family members that die from cancer. If like I'm telling you, like if every third person in my family has diabetes, like it's just how it is, Nobody, and it also comes down to eating habits. Some other stuff may be hereditary, but mostly it's just eating habits.
Yeah.
So nobody works out like how I work out. Nobody in my family. So. And I understand that even if you make money, but your health isn't right. Like my grandma, she's in, they had to cut off her legs, so she's in the bed all the time. Yeah, so I understand that you can have money, but if you can't even leave out the house to do nothing with it, it doesn't really even matter. So fitness is really important for me. Eating healthy. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't eat wings, you know,
Right.
but trying your best to be as healthy as possible and stay in shape and stay fit means the world to me, honestly. I'm not a guru when it comes to fitness, but I do work out, you know, four times a week.
Yeah.
That's important to me. And then finance would be second. And also another thing was people don't realize how the healthier you are, the clearer your mind is.
Ooh, that's a bar.
Healthier you are, the clearer your mind is. The healthier you are, the better you can move throughout the day. The healthier you are, the longer you can withstand the day. So that means if you're healthy, you can grind longer. You can make more money. So
Make
it's
more
days
calls, do all that,
yeah,
take more no's.
exactly. I get up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning every single day. I go to the gym first. Second I walk out of the gym is work the rest of the day. I can go until midnight because I'm in shape. I can mentally do that, physically do that. So that's why fitness is first for me. Then finances is second. Obviously, you want to make money to pay for the things, provide for your family, do stuff like that. And then the third thing is go back. What is this?
Faith, fashion, and fun. Those are your last three.
Faith, fashion, and fun. Okay. So the next thing is I will put fun next. So if I can go back in time, I'll put faith first. You gotta have faith. I didn't miss that faith. So let's just swap faith go first because you have to have that belief, that faith that all of this stuff is even possible. That's first. Like you wake up in the morning, you pray, have that faith that I can win today. Then you go ahead and work out. Then you go ahead and make money. And then you got to have some fun. If you don't have fun, then none of this stuff even matters. You make $1 million, but don't have no fun with it, then you're just stuck in this office right here with all this money and it's just money at that point. Money is a tool. You use it to help put other people on, use it to have a better life, and you use it to have some type of fun. We live to go ahead and live experiences, travel, go out with your friends, go out with your wife, go out with your husband, go out and do something, have some type of fun. And then the last thing is fashion, because also, and I like that you said fashion, because believe it or not, I don't care what anybody says. Believe it or not, you are judged based on how your appearance is, judged by how you look. I'm not a fashion guru. I'm not like the biggest fashion guy. But I believe in you still have to look good, and you still have to look presentable, and you have to have some type of I don't say swag on you, or just have some type of nice clothes, because there are people that may not want to do business with you just because, like, yo, this guy's walking around in painter's clothes all day. Like, I understand that's what we gotta look like. Sometimes we're going through these houses or we work in our houses, but you know, once that stuff is done, you have to put some type of presentable clothes or nice clothes, because you're going to have people that want to invest money with you, be a partner, people that want to lend to you, people that want to do business with you, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, husband, future husband or wife that may want to get with you, all strictly because that's a nice looking man. He's presenting himself well. Like fashion does play a big part, whether you believe it or not. And even as I know, in my naming Bible, I know a few influencers that literally wear some types of fashion because they know it brings in a bag.
Yeah.
Like I wear nice clothes in my conferences, in my videos, in my, programs or whatever it is that attracts, more money towards my way. So it's fashion goes so many different ways, but more of the story, you have to look good. You have to look presentable. You have to have, something going on as far as clothes, because it's going to attract a lot of things to you.
No, that's big time, bro. And I tell that to people because every time I say my 5Fs, people always hear the fashion one. They're like, what? Or they get thrown off. And and I tell people, you just said it, like how you're perceived is an indicator for what you're going to receive. Like if you are just looking like, a bum or homeless, like that is an indicator to certain people. And if you are trying to have millionaire dreams, you got to be you don't have to go out and chase the designers and wear things that you can't afford.
No.
But you can be and it raises your self-confidence in yourself. And if you're trying to receive certain blessings, certain opportunities, certain gifts, like you have to first have that appearance where somebody can be like, okay, I can trust this guy, or I want to sell my house to this guy because he looks like a respectable businessman. Like you're going to pull up to somebody's house saying you're an investor, but you look like the person who's supposed to be, I don't know, cleaning the house instead of and there's nothing wrong with that, but you know what I'm saying, bro. So I appreciate that.
That's a fact. And one last thing I want to say, what you said is true, because remember I got started in real estate I'm 28 now. I guess still young. But when I first got in real estate, I was really young. Like I didn't even have a beard. I had like kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I really look young. So fashion was very important to me because I had to wear a suit because 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old people are like, you want me to give you the biggest investment in my life, put it in your hands so you can sell it, and you coming to me with jeans and a t-shirt on, and I already know you're like 21, 22, 20. Nah, but when you show up with a suit on, when you show up ready, you don't even have the tie, just a shoe with an open butt. Like, it's just like, okay, I know he's young, but he seems mature.
Yeah.
I noticed like the back of my hand because people say this, like, yo, it's funny. This is one of my old business cards. My old business cards.
Yes, sir. Look at them. Looking good, brother.
My old business cards. So when people see that, they're like, oh, you know, I give him a shot. He seems mature. He seems,
Yeah.
he's already respectable, and he's kind of look like he's on his business. I don't have no. People will buy into you just off your clothes. They don't even know if you do what you say you're going to do, but just off because you look presentable.
Yeah.
I give him a shot.
No, that's big time, man. You've given so much already, bro. I appreciate your time, Derek, man. Thank you so much. And like I said, everybody who's listening, I'll be dropping his Instagram and some of his links down in the show notes as well. So please drop a comment, like, subscribe to some of the things that we're doing, not only to myself, but also to my brother, Derek Boone. He's killing it out there in the Philadelphia area, in the Northeast region, but he's going global with it. I already know he's going to buy up every property that he can. So, and to help as many of us as well to get it started. So he doesn't want to keep it all to himself. That's why I respect the most, because he doesn't need to. That's the thing about the real estate game. All you got to do is refi and keep building more. Like, you don't have to teach anybody. But I appreciate what you do for the culture and trying to help people who are in a similar situation like you, where they're trying to figure it out, trying to get started, or just feel hopeless or helpless and they don't know where to get started, man. So I appreciate it, Derek. Thank you for your time. And if you want any closing remarks, any last things you want to tell the people, brother?
I just want everybody to do something. If I give you guys a lot of game today, I give you guys a lot of information, can you just do something for me? Just believe in yourself. Just make a commitment today. Like, before you close out of this video, before you close out of this interview, before you turn your phone off, your laptop, whatever it is, I want you to write down on a piece of paper on your hand, type in your notes, that I promise that I'm going to start believing in myself more. I promise that I'm going to start doing more. I promise that I'm going to start living more. The second, I want you to screenshot that, and I want you to make it your screensaver and just live by it. That's all I ask you to do. That's all I ask in return. And life is going to change a whole lot for you.
And that's it. It's as simple as that. It's something so small as setting that screensaver. If you can't set that screensaver, you're not going to be able to execute on a $100,000 contract. You're not going to be able to execute on calling 100 different people to expect that one yes. But if you can do something just as simply as believing yourself and setting a screensaver, I promise you, like Derek said, the difference is going to happen, man. And I thank you for your time, man, analyzing the deals that you have gone through and analyzing the deal of your life to get you in the position that you're in now. So thank you so much to Derek Boone. It's your boy Noble Living. I appreciate you guys tapping in to analyze the deal. We'll be back for another episode with some more power-packed individuals like Derek. Man, thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man.